Hey everyone, my name's Carrie Jane. Welcome to my channel. I'm being swarmed by bees because I put on essential oil and I'm really regretting this decision. Um, this should be an interesting video. This is the first day off that I've had in a really long time. I'm at the Carmel River and there's a road right in front of me. So I apologize for the car noises, but it's a very quick, very beautiful, rejuvenating getaway, which I really need. Yeah, let me pan the camera around and show you where I am. This is a little beach that I just kind of stumbled upon, but it's got really nice sand for a river, and it's quite peaceful and exactly what I needed today. And behind me is the trail. And so it's quite possible someone's going to stumble upon me as I'm filming this, but whatever. I've been really struggling these past few weeks and have become very creatively congested and have to, unfortunately, relearn getting back into the flow of making these videos and writing and everything. If I ever even find the time for that. It's been so insane. This is the first day off, literally, I've had in months, I think. And all the videos that you've seen so far are, or at least a lot of them, at least, are from a while ago, from before my life became what it is. I know it can't last forever, but it's just difficult because I have a journal here for this YouTube channel, and I come up with so many interesting thoughts to share and so many interesting ideas for videos that never are able to leave this notebook or even my mind. I can't even get it onto the paper sometimes because throughout my day I just think of all the things that I could be creating and all the things that I could be working on and enjoying. I could be, sitting on this riverbank with this beautiful sand and this beautiful day, but instead I'm very much confined by a very strict schedule right now. So I have today off, I have tomorrow off. I'm going to see how many of the ideas that I can get through and get them out to you as soon as possible. This is going to be tricky because I also don't want to compromise the quality of the video. I don't want to rush through it. I don't want to, miss something. But I can always make part 2 videos. I realize that. I could always make a part 2 video. I think I also need to let go of getting so caught up on how it needs to look and what I need to say and what it needs to be like. I mean, I've followed YouTube channels for so long now, and it's you can see the progression of their videos and how many attempts it takes to really get down to what it is that they're trying to present to the public and their followers. Which, by the way, I think since the last time I checked, I've had like 7 more subscribers, so thank you. I'm very humble. I'm very humble in that. Before this I had the WordPress blog, and it takes quite a while to build WordPress followers when you're writing about what I'm writing about. So every day when I look and see another subscriber, I'm very, very excited about it. So welcome. Some of you I've met in person in the store that I work at, and some of you I've told you too that I'm going to be making a series on crystals, and I still am. Haven't made the videos yet. I don't know when I'll be posting this video, but if I post this one first, just know it's coming very soon. just need to get the time and need to get my thoughts together. There's a lizard like literally a foot away from me and he hasn't realized I'm here yet. I have been trying to figure out how to talk about this eclipse with you guys that just went by. One thing that I do think is worth mentioning is that for me at least, when there's these major planetary events going on, I think the best thing to do is to go outside and to go kind of remove yourself. It might be a time for reflection, to see where you are in your life, kind of like we do every new year, but for every event there's something different going on, so it's not necessarily going to be the same questions that you pose, and it's not necessarily going to be the same method that you use, but in my opinion, these eclipses and everything, whoever you are, the best thing that you can do is kind of remove yourself from what's going on just for a bit, if you can at least, and go out alone in nature somewhere and feel. Just feel, because I think, spend a lot of time, at least I do, overanalyzing and asking questions and being like, what's going on? And then if we kind of just took a moment, like 1 second, to sit in these energies and to sit with our lives, we probably would then get the answers to all our questions, or at least have a better understanding of what's happening in the world and what's happening with us, and etc. And even though, this is the time to do that, if you're like me, you had absolutely no time to do that during the entire eclipse. And not only that, but it was car week here in Monterey, which means that the crowd is different and abundant. And people are disrespectful of space, and people are disrespectful in general, and I'm a sales associate, so I get to deal with that at my job when these events happen. And so the combination of the earth moving through this phase, having to feel that, and then being immersed in this busy cacophony of consumerism and I could go on, at a time when I needed to be outside the most, really put a toll on me. And I'm still recovering from the eclipse because of that. If you found that this summer or this past month has been, unique and difficult, or maybe it wasn't difficult, maybe it was euphoric, I don't know. I would like to hear your point of view, because I like to collect observations in anything. I like to collect people's thoughts, and it kind of fascinates me how everyone does seem to come at, a convergence at the same time, or at the same times in the world. Maybe not the exact same time, we're not going to be having major, breakthroughs on the same exact day every year, but you get what I'm saying? I don't know, I find that fascinating, and I would like to know other people's insights on this. If there's anything good that came out of that for me, was the realization that I think that introversion is a symptom of empathy. And we're kind of at a place now, I think, in our society in 2017 where we seem to have a stronger awareness of extroversion and introversion more than in the past. You know, it's like a phenomenon that everyone likes to talk about now, and you know what it means to be an introvert, what it means to be an extrovert, and the definition that is really, really popular now is that introversion is when you make your own energy, you make your own life force. I don't know, you kind of charge, you know, that's why you don't really like spending too much time with other people, because it drains you. You're not getting your energy from outside of yourself, you're making it, and you have your own lot, and that gets you through the day. And extroversion being the opposite of that, when you feel invigorated by being around other people. But I've never encountered yet what introversion might actually be beyond that. Be beyond that kind of surfacey definition. And after this eclipse happened and I was struggling to get through and had to feel everything like I always have to, and not being able to do anything about it, I'm pretty fed up, I think. And it's very obvious in some of my videos and some of my work so far, but when you're an empath, when you have empathy, you don't get to decide what your life is like. And like this is when I think about the people I've been around my whole life, I don't think they understand this. And this is the thing that I think one of the major things that separates me from the rest of my family and me from the rest of my peers, you know, friends that I have had and have right now, and just people in general when I see them on the street. If you're not an empath, I think it's confusing. And it's not really not really understood. Like I have a few specific examples in my head, and one of which is the comparison between my siblings and I. You know, we're two very different people. Like, all my siblings are honestly very different in their own way. We all get along anyway, but we're all so different, and I always thought that it probably confused them how much I did not want to be in the public eye, how much I did not want to be surrounded by my group of friends all the time, you know, how much I didn't want to go to the bar, and, you know, I etc. So, I don't think they get that when I push everyone away, and when I disconnect from it all, I'm doing a service to myself, because like I said, don't get to decide how my life is like. And when I put up boundaries, it's me taking a stance, and it's me saying, I don't want to feel like garbage today. I don't want to have, you know, an energetic burnout today. I don't want to think about, you know, people getting bombed in Syria today. I will eventually, because it's not something you should be running from or anything really, but there's you, as an empath, when you're put into situations, you can also shield yourself. There is, you know, a method to be around crowds of people and still be perfectly fine, but even that takes energy. And it's just nice to not have to put up a shield and to exist in a space for a certain amount of time. And and just let it be and let yourself be. And so I guess is what I'm saying, I wish extroverts or, people who are not empaths, really, is what I'm trying to say, because that's how I'm separating them out, people who have empathy and people who are not empathic. I really wish and hope to see... What the heck? Sorry, there's like stuff happening in this river right now. Okay, sorry about that. I think what I was trying to say was that I hope to see the perhaps eventual dismantling, the taking down of this "you are an extrovert" or "you are an introvert" concept, to an extent. I think there's true value to the person who just kind of who wants to take a step back and be able to curate their experience, be able to have an experience that's not always determined by, their external circumstance, and to praise the people. It's getting really windy now, hold on. To praise the people who have the capacity in the first place to see things for what they are and not for how they are being sold, not how they're portrayed, and not how they're made to be. And that was a very vague statement, but if you are an empath, I think you'll kind of get what I'm saying eventually. And perhaps I will be able to explain this even further in another video, I'm not sure. But I think also another key thing, and this is hard for me to explain, but another key thing that made me consider introversion as really kind of just a symptom or a version of empathy is how, we also say that not everyone is a complete extrovert or a complete introvert. And that kind of makes me believe that there might be something more to this concept, because what if the people who are not completely introvert and, are said to be half extrovert, half introvert, they like having their quiet time, but they also like being in big crowds. What if these people are just empaths who like variety? Empaths who are just, they love people, but they have empathy, and so they need some alone time, and then they need some time with their people. That sounds like a well-balanced human being to me, not someone who's like, oh, well, I do have extroversion and introversion. That just sounds like a balanced person. That sounds like someone who is very adaptable and can deal with many different kinds of situations. And that's wonderful. I don't know, I think also humans, we get caught up in labels, and we gotta put a label to everything, and you have to categorize, and you have to be called something. You can't just be, so that's another thing, if you are someone who is considered introvert and you kind of don't like being called an introvert, just keep that in mind too, that people are just that's, you don't have to be anything. Just be yourself, and then try to be a good person every day. And that's a really good way to live your life. And that's all that matters. I'm pressed for time because, well, my battery's running out. And I have to catch the bus to go back home soon. So I think that's all for now. I think that I'm done. Hopefully the next video will be on crystals or something very cool like that. I don't know. I don't know for sure yet. I'm excited though. I'm always excited to be trying these videos because there's something new, completely new in this for me. Like I do not do the videos naturally, and so it's exciting. It's a new frontier. There's my extroversion, I guess. I like everything that's new, and I like everything that has variety and learning. I love to learn. So, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you soon. Take care. Bye.